Do it or ditch it time. This is where we take a little bit of a look at whether or not an attraction at Walt Disney World or Disneyland is worth doing or ditching. Today, it is all about Walt Disney World, and more specifically, it's all about Frozen Ever After at EPCOT in the Norway Pavilion. Perhaps you've heard of this ride. It's one that prior to the pandemic, people were racing to get to. People were running from the moment the rope dropped at the front of the park just to get in line for, just to get a fast pass for. This is an attraction that replaced Maelstrom, which for many years was a big part of the Walt Disney World Norway experience. We reached out to you and asked, hey, how do you feel when it comes to Frozen Ever After at EPCOT? Is it worth your vacation time? Here's what you said in our Instagram poll. You said 60% it's a must-do. 40% said not really. I gotta admit, I'm kind of surprised by those numbers. I was really kind of stunned, and we saw something very similar in our Twitter poll as well. It almost aligns with what we see on the Instagram poll. We oftentimes wonder, who do we have on either accounts, because not everybody is on both accounts, and certainly the Twitter number is smaller than the Instagram number and all of that, so kind of pans out, but they sort of match up. So 60% say it's a must-do, 40% say not really. Katrina, is this a do it or a ditch it for you?
Do it.
Oh,
it's a do it. Yeah, I like it. I've never rode Maelstrom. I was sad my first time going. We were about a couple of days after they shut it down. That was like my first time going, and I was really devastated. So I don't know. I can't judge it. I can't compare, but I do love it. I think that it's really unique, especially, and that was like one of those IP rides. And now, like, if they did another one, I'd be like, oh my God, stop. But, but it's
you
fun
mean like Ratatouille?
Yeah, like right,
just like that,
just like that. Oh my God, stop. But I'm just saying that it's great. The queue's great. I love it. If you're, we've never really waited in the queue that often, because we were always lucky to get fast passes. With that whole 3 fast pass thing at Epcot, right. What are you gonna choose? Like, you would choose either like Test Track or Frozen, and we would try to choose Frozen because we would do single rider for Test Track a lot. So, and they don't have a single rider for Frozen, so it's a bummer. So that was our fast pass. But I loved what is that guy in the window? He goes, yoo-hoo!
Wandering Oaken?
Yeah, Wandering Oaken. Oh my gosh. So I love it. I think it's really cute. I like when you go backwards. That is the only ride I'm able to go backwards without freaking out like Garrett. I rode Everest once, and that was my only time. I rode backwards. We went forwards. I cried. The still shot of Tyler still had it. My face is like blank.
Oh.
And then it was like complete horror. Like, I don't scream on rides. I'm silent.
Oh.
And that's when it's bad.
That's how, yeah, I'm going to say.
And then I got off it. I just started crying. I was like, I can't go backwards and then forwards. But I do like Frozen. I think it's really fun when you go backwards and then Elsa's there and she's singing to you and you just keep going backwards. And I think it's just so epic. And it's just really awesome. And it actually makes you really enjoy it. And then I love Olaf, and he's like singing and dancing on the ice, and he's just like, I don't know the words of the song. And it's really cute. But yeah, I do it. It's great.
A total do it for you. Very good. Well, let's jump out to Walt Disney World, where our Florida reporter Garrett Hassel standing by in front of Frozen Ever After, and you'll see just how busy it always is, no matter what time of day you walk by that attraction. Garrett, is it a do it or a ditch it for you?
It is definitely a do it. I think that this ride is whimsical. It's fun. It's good for everyone, whether you're an adult or someone who just saw Frozen for the first time and has then subsequently watched it 100 times after that because it was that magical. I love it. I never got to experience Maelstrom, unfortunately, but this attraction, it just gives you that feel-good feeling. It has some cool effects, especially my favorite one is at the end with Marshmallow. If you don't know who Marshmallow is, he's the giant abominable snowman. He says let it go, and then he breathes his mouth on you. He does like a shower of spit.
Let it go.
That's not how it works.
I love it when people
but
breathe
it's
their
fun,
mouth on
and
me.
the snow geese are hanging around. But this is just a fun attraction, and Epcot doesn't have a whole lot of attractions, so this is something you definitely got to do to get the most out of your day. And the land here is just so enchanting, and of course you end in a gift shop, but I think it's actually one of the best gift shops because it smells so dang good. It smells like, I guess, what Norway would smell like. But yeah, you definitely got to do Frozen Ever After. The line right now is only 45 minutes despite it being a little busy. But yeah, come out here, do it, friends. And if you ever did go on Maelstrom, let us know, because I never got to experience it, but I hear it was
You too,
quite
huh?
a fun time. Yeah,
Wow.
I got out here for my college program, I think, a few months after they shut it down for the
Oh,
transition
no.
period. So I was really bummed out about that. But c'est la vie. I don't know how to say it is life in Norwegian, but yeah, Frozen Ever After is quite a fun attraction, and it was designed very well by the Imagineers. I must commend them on that.
Yeah, I got to admit, for the space that they had to create this attraction dedicated to the highest grossing animated film of all time, it's kind of amazing that they were able to shoehorn in so much in terms of storytelling and in terms of effects and stuff like that. It is a spectacular dark ride, to be certain. 5-hour wait is what was quoted as the opening day wait for the attraction, and yes, it did open up in June of 2016, to be specific. Certainly something that continues to command crowds, as we saw behind Garrett there. Tyler, when it comes to this ride at Epcot, there's a lot to do in a place like Epcot. Do you make it a do it or a ditch it?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to go on Maelstrom, and although I just really greatly missed that ride because it was really weird and
most bizarre
attraction. Yeah, it really was kind of bizarre,
but it had like a cult feel to it. You know, it was like you felt proud being on it for some reason.
Yeah, no,
it was very odd.
It felt really cool being on that ride because it was just unlike any other Disney ride, because it was scary. There were like these creepy trolls that would come out of the water and everything, and
polar bears running amok.
Yeah, and then at the end there was an oil derrick. Okay, but you know, and one of the coolest things too was when you used to go backwards, the boat, you could actually see the boat coming out from there's a waterfall there at the front. You can kind of barely see it where Garrett is, but
yeah, there used to be an opening there.
But there used to be an opening, where the boat would be coming. Anyway, enough about Maelstrom. I miss it, but I would say 100%.
Yeah, right to the side of Garrett. Yeah, that waterfall, that used to be a big opening, and you could see that boat back up and then change direction. You're right.
Yeah, so I miss that little cool aspect. But all that being said, Frozen is 100% to do it. I can't imagine going to Epcot, and even though there's a long line a lot of the time, like Katrina said, we usually get lucky with our fast passes. But it's one of those rides that not only, so I have a couple reasons why I think it's awesome. The number one is the technology. I mean, it is one of the most technologically advanced rides that Disney has made in these domestic parks, if you will. I mean, the animatronics themselves are just so cool to look at, and every time I go by, they put a big smile on my face, and it's just so darn cute. I mean, I can't, I like, even me who was at my limit of like, okay, I've heard the Let It Go song too many times now. Like now it still gives me kind of goosebumps when, you know, Elsa is standing there and her arms are going wacky like crazy. And she, you know, right when she says, let it go, the boat starts going backwards. And you can see it on screen now. As you're going backwards, she's creating the whole ice castle all around you. And it's just such a cool idea. Like whoever came up with the idea of like, let's have the ice castle being built right in front of your eyes. It's really neat. And if you look back at the movie, it really resonates with that. It looks pretty much exactly the same in a lot of ways. And it's just, again, it's just so cute. And it's kind of like greatest hits of Frozen, right? It's like, oh, there's a vague story to it, but really it's just like, let's just sing the songs from Frozen. And
then you have their spring outfits at the end.
Yeah, and the spring outfits and Olaf like tap dancing, and it's just so darn cute, like I said already. So I just can't imagine going to Epcot and not experiencing this ride. And if you've never done it before, you have to do it. It's short, but it's sweet. So 100% go do it.
Very good. Yeah, make it a priority on your Walt Disney World trip, and certainly something that I say definitely worth doing. You know, it's a great, captivating ride, one that hits you with almost all the senses, and you walk away from it feeling good. And you know, I didn't always walk away from Maelstrom feeling good. Sometimes I felt indifferent because I didn't know what I was experiencing and I didn't know what was happening.
Especially if they made you stay for the movie at the end. You're like, oh no.
Yes, yeah, the 1970s Norway. That's right. Yeah, you got to see a film about it. At any rate, for something that replaced something that was very much directly linked to, we'll say stereotypes in their Norwegian culture,
Sure.
because that's kind of what Maelstrom was. For something to replace it, you always want to have it be a level up in regards to what Disney can do. This, in so many different ways, leveled up in terms of technology, in terms of music, in terms of overall ride feeling. So definitely something to add to your do it list. It sounds like a unanimous do it across the board when it comes to Frozen Ever After at EPCOT.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.